How's it going, fam? Everyone here nice and early. Love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. Yeah, I'm a little faded at the moment, but don't worry, the game will definitely carry me here. So we're officially going to cross over the game's midway hump today. I see Hifumi takes another hit. Well, I gotta keep fucking register there. Even though I don't really have to change anything. Kyoko, don't really have to change anything other than the technical number of it all. Alright, getting the early votes in, eh, fam? So, woo! So we've also got Hinahiro Toko up. Okay. Alrighty, all these fucking coins. I can't keep up. Where the fuck are we, guys? They're all gonna be together. Yes, Hina there. Toko still in the negatives. And Hiro Celeste. Whew. Spend their monocoins. Well, that already basically like changes this list around a little bit, but anybody got time for that, right? Yeah, yes, definitely interested to see what people are all thinking. Alright, so we got us an investigation to do. So we found Hifumi struck with a hammer. We went upstairs, we ran downstairs, he was gone, and then we ran upstairs or some shit like that, and then we found Taka dead, hit with a hammer, and then we ran around again, and then we ran downstairs. Oh, thanks for the sub, bro. And then we found Taka and Hifumi eventually, both dead, and then I wonder if anyone picked up on the interesting thing that happened right there. Anyway, we saved right as the investigation began. Appreciate that shit. Get me to the class trial and let the game carry that shit. Alright. No, that's really nice. Thank you very much. And alright, without further ado, Chapter 3, the halfway point of the game. Yep, so as usual, we gotta check us the Monokuma file. Get the basic facts of the death. So the victims were Hifumi Yamada, Kiyotaka Ishimaru. The cause of death for each was a blow to the head. It is thought they were both killed with a similar weapon. That's it.
Very strange.
Yeah, it's pretty strange. We got way less information this time than before. That is no problem. After all, the events of this case unfolded before our very eyes. We should know more about what happened than the Monokuma file could anyway. Maybe.
Well,
Down both of Byakuya. There's something else that's bothering me. Someone else has been missing for quite a while. Are you talking about Kyoko?
Perhaps.
Without a doubt, she has an alibi for when Celeste and Hifumi were attacked. But what if the killer wasn't acting alone? What if they had an accomplice? An accomplice? An accomplice? What are you doing here?
Monokuma!
Don't be rude! I'm here to answer your question! What question?
Yep.
You're talking about accomplices, right? I'm pretty sure I explained it before, didn't I? During the first class trial! Flashback.
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
In other words,
Well, me. So basically, you can become an accomplice if you want, but there's no gratification in it.
So then.
So are you saying nobody worked together this time either?
Hey,
Sorry, can't answer that. Woohoo! It would obstruct the free exchange of information between you guys. Woohoo! I just want to make sure you don't forget, no matter how much you might assist in murder. Only one Blackened can graduate. An accomplice gets nothing!
So, in other words,
And we only need to figure out who that one Blackened is. The killing, right? Just like normal.
well,
Okay. Let me take this opportunity to clarify the whole shebang. In this class trial, what you need to determine is
extreme!
the one true Blackened who devised the murder plot and put it into action. True Blackened. So just one
Well
person.
now.
That's enough for explainifying. Now it's down to the final battle between all of you and the Blackened. Good luck to all the contestants. So there can be only one Blackened, an accomplice wouldn't benefit. Then I can't see any way why Kyoko would be connected to this case after all. You may be right. If that's true, then Kyoko, where are you?
However,
As long as she's not connected to the case, it doesn't matter. Let's get back to the investigation.
indeed.
I have absolutely no doubt that Hiro is responsible. But for the time being, I suppose it can't hurt to pursue further information.
So,
You know, don't you think we should just consider a certain someone a suspect just in case? Sorry, my comprehension's off tonight. I'm talking about the murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Well, I'm offended! Yeah! You, when did you? I've been looking all over for you, Master. When I woke up, you were not to be found! Yeah, love it. Anyway, you there, milk sack swimmer girl! Milk sack?
Gotta be kidding!
Why do I gotta be a suspect?
What the heck?
Well, I mean, you are a serial killer.
What?
Hey, that's the one. I'm like suspicious suspect every time. I have an alibi, you know. She's right about that. When we heard Ifumi scream, she was with me. And when the bodies disappeared, she was still lying unconscious in the equipment room. Plus, Tucker's body aside, I can't imagine any way she would have been able to move Ifumi's body. Besides, I calculate every move I make. I'm not gonna kill someone when everyone knows what I look like. They don't come into murderous fiend for nothing.
What are you saying?
That's not the kind of thing you should be bragging about.
let's see.
On another topic, should we post a guard by the bodies like before? We can't have them disappearing again.
So then.
Hina and I can handle that. You don't mind, do you, Hina? Sure, I'd be totally useless on the investigation anyway.
it's all clear now.
Then that's that. Let's begin. This whole thing is so strange. All but one of us have an alibi, so figuring out who did it should be obvious, right? But maybe it's just me, but I don't think it's going to be as straightforward as it seems. Truth bullets! The Monokuma file. They were hit with hammers. Alrighty, Hina.
So,
Hey, Makoto, I've been thinking about something. It's about the repository. Huh? What is it? After Ifumi and Tucker's bodies disappeared, we split up to look around, right? I was really scared, so me and Sakura stuck together.
but
And we came right to the repository too, you know. Look around. But when we got here, the repository was locked. We couldn't get inside. It was locked? And we came here as soon as the search started. So there's no way someone could have beat us here. So if that's true, then who locked it? And why is it unlocked now? I wonder the same thing. The door was locked when the search for the bodies began, but now it's wide open. There might be some secret lurking in there, but I'll probably have to leave this area to figure it out. But first I must look at everything, like the hammers. There are hammers of all different sizes hanging on the wall. Some are more like mallets. Mallets? Could the Justice Hammers have been designed using these as models? Either way, all the hammers here have obviously seen a lot of use. They're all covered in debris and chalky stone powder. Wait. For some reason, this one hammer isn't dirty at all, and it's wet. Did someone wash it recently? Spotless hammer. He's not Super Saiyan anymore, he's definitely dead. Tucker, he'll never move again. According to the Monokuma file, Tucker died from a blow to the head. We found Justice Hammer 4 near his body in the equipment room. Is that what was used to kill him? And there's a tarp laid out under his body. Did the killer use this to move Tucker's body? That way there wouldn't be any blood left behind while the body was moved. Blue tarp. Was there blood tarp for a second? Disappointing. Hifumi's big, cold body is laying on the floor. Like a beached whale. His really big body. You went there, Makoto, not me. Well, we both did. Fuck it. I mean, how on earth was the killer able to move someone so fat, big, grotesque from the nurse's office where he was discovered to here, the repository, all the way from the first floor to the third, and all without anyone noticing it? How the hell? It's no good. I just don't get it. I can think about it later. For now, I have to finish investigating Hifumi himself. If I remember correctly, Hifumi's fatal injury was also a blow to the head. Probably from Justice Hammer 3, which was laying on the floor in the nurse's office. Huh? Wait. Something's off about his body. Why am I getting this feeling? Something's different. Something about Hifumi's body in the nurse's office versus his body right now. That's it. His glasses. When his body was in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But now they're completely clean. Does that mean someone wiped his glasses off? But who would do that and why? Fumi's glasses. There are many aspects to the incident this time. Too many, to be honest. Considering that, it may be good to look back on everything that's happened.
So then...
Would you like my help? Sure, Sakura. Yeah, let's look back on things. This morning, only 4 of us met up at the dining hall. Hina, Kyoko, you, and myself. We waited for the others, but nobody showed up, so we decided to go look for them. It was around 8 o'clock when we began our search. And soon after we split up, Kyoko disappeared. After that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room on the 3rd floor, and quickly came and got you and me. According to Celeste, she was attacked by a suspicious individual and lay unconscious for about an hour. In other words, she was attacked an hour before we found her, meaning just after 7 o'clock. Based on the picture Celeste took, we discovered her attacker was dressed in a strange costume. It was Robo-Justice. It also became clear that this Robo-Justice had dragged Hifumi away. After meeting up with Toko and Byakuya, we began searching for the costumed assailant. We found an injured Hifumi in the library on the 2nd floor. We took him down to the nurse's office on the 1st floor, then resumed our search. But not long after leaving the nurse's office. What's wrong? I saw a shadow, something moving around at the top of the stairs. Based on Celeste's claims, we went back up to the 2nd floor, where we split up and began searching. And right after that, Celeste screamed. This time, she had apparently seen the suspect on the 3rd floor. Hearing her screams, we quickly made our way to the 3rd floor. Celeste! What's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costume man! He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared. And then... Ungo! Huh? What was that? What was that? It came from downstairs. It must have been... Hifumi! He's in the nurse's office! This is bad! Come on, we have to go back! At that point, we decided to split up into two groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office. Meanwhile, you, Byakuya, and Toko pursued the suspect up on the 3rd floor. And when we get back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi's corpse. Which is also when we heard the body discovery announcement play. I left Celeste and Hina alone and headed back to the 3rd floor to tell the others what had happened.
However,
At the same time, we discovered Tucker's body in the equipment room, which means Hifumi and Tucker's bodies were discovered right around the same time. Because I remember hearing the body discovery announcement play right after finding Tucker. And that's when I showed up and told you and Byakuya that Hifumi had been killed, right? Then you, me, and Byakuya all headed back to the nurse's office, leaving behind Toko, who had fainted. But as soon as we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who just arrived to tell us something very unusual. Hifumi's body had disappeared. We hurried back to the nurse's office to discover that his corpse was, in fact, gone. Then we remembered we had abandoned the unconscious Toko and rushed back to the equipment room. This can't be happening. Are we hallucinating all this or something? This time, Tucker's body had disappeared, so from there we began our search for both of the missing bodies. And after some time... Celeste told us she'd found the bodies and we all headed to the repository. And there we rediscovered the two bodies that apparently vanished. And that brings us up to now.
however,
Looking back, things have certainly been very active. If you want to look back at the case again, just let me know. I'm fine anytime. Alright, so I gave us a brief recap earlier. Sakura had us fucking covered. Alright. So I did see there was a few votes that I missed about 13 minutes ago. So there was a downer on Byakuya, an up for Chihiro, and an up for Toko. Just so we don't fall behind, eh? Up for Chihiro. Toko at 0. You falling down, Byakuya. Alrighty. Don't have time to stare at the TV, but I got a mono coin. Final words are undeserved. Byakuya, do you think Hiro really did it? I don't see how anyone could think otherwise. When the attacks and murders and disappearances all happened, every one of us had an alibi. Ah, Chovy, thank you for the follow. And the last thing Hifumi said when he died... Yeah, he said Hiro's name.
So, in other words,
Then there is no room to suspect anyone else. Okay, but if he did do it, why would he hide his identity with that weird costume? Maybe he thought that no matter what happened, he'd be safe as long as his face was covered. Because he's the fool of the century, you see. I mean, he is kind of dumb. Do you really think that's enough to explain it? I feel like there's a clue hiding in there somewhere.
what?
Dude was too high to know what was going on. Yeah, I want some of your ultimate kush. Hero. Give me some hope. Alrighty. There we go. Sorry about that. And is that it? That's all that bothers you about this case? Well, no, there are a few other things. Like, why did the killer try to hide the bodies? They probably figured that if we couldn't find the bodies, we couldn't complete our investigation. Oh, hello. Welcome. Welcome. Awesome to have someone watching from Chile. Everyone's welcome here. Hope my lazy New Zealand accent isn't too lazy. If I'm remembering it right now, everyone's just speculating. Speculate away, my friends. Alright. Sorry guys, getting derailed. I'm gonna have me some more derailment juice and we're gonna keep going. But if that's the case, we found the bodies pretty easily, didn't we? Byakuya takes a swig of woodies and then says again, it comes back to the fact that the culprit was a moron. Is that really all there is to it? The other thing that bothers me is, why'd they bother killing 2 people?
What?
That. Because all the rules say is, if you can kill someone and get away with it, you graduate, right? So if you're the killer, your number one priority is not getting caught. But killing 2 people means more clues, more chances you'll get found out. Hold on, perhaps I see, so that's what it means. Is everything okay?
That's enough.
Don't talk to me as if we're friends. Huh? What's with the attitude? He's Byakuya, bitch. Bitch, you have my appreciation.
Goodbye.
Thanks to you, I might have some fun with this after all. His mysterious words hung in the air as he left the repository. He talked as if he'd figured something out. But if he did, would it have killed him to tell me what it was? No, because I am Byakuya and I am number 1. Only one way in and out of this room, through the door that Hina said was locked before. I'm a massive fan of these games. I start 2 and V3 are a lot better than the first one, but the first one's got its charm. So if you're new to Danganronpa, enjoy. I haven't played it in a while. I do ultimately know what happens. All I do ask is that if you do know what happens, don't spoil it for the people in the chat who don't. Just because it's fun for them figuring it out, and honestly, the most fun I'm having is kind of watching everyone figure it out and just kind of hosting this for them. We're also just having fun, and we're voting for characters, so you can spend the bits, monocoins, to vote some characters up or down, and between streams I put them in a tier list. Just for fun, just for shits and giggles, basically. So yeah, Chihiro got another upvote just now. Whoop. Might miss all the important stuff. Yeah, sorry, was just giving our new follower the DL there. So, there's definitely a lock on the door, but it can only be locked from inside the repository. I don't see any way to lock it from in the art room. The door can only be locked from inside the repository, which makes me wonder. Hina and Sakura confirmed that the door was locked after we started looking for the missing bodies. And the door is designed so that it can only be locked from inside. In other words, when Hina checked it, someone had already gone in the repository and locked the door. When they were done, they unlocked it and left, which is why it's unlocked now. But Hina claims there's no way someone could have beaten them to the repository. That certain someone... Vroom! New truth bullet. Yeah, I should probably look around here a little more. Okay, we did not see that before. It's a dolly, it doesn't have a handle. I saw this in the art room before. I guess it's used to move statues around. It's kind of awkward, but if you bend down, it's not too hard to use. Huh? But wait. Wasn't this in the equipment room when we found Tucker's body? And look at the wheel. There's a blood stain on it. So there's blood on the wheel from the dolly that was moved from the equipment room to the repository. Yeah, no, I was actually telling some of my friends how much I love the soundtracks for these games. Actually driving home and listening to it today. Obviously I get pumped up for the stream, but I do unironically listening to Danganronpa music in general. Shit's on Spotify. It deserves to be. And what's the explanation for the repository, Dolly? Repository. Repository. I'm gonna be saying that a lot, aren't I? Repository. There's gotta be a clue around here somewhere. Maybe I should check somewhere else. There are some places I already know about. First, the nurse's office where Ifumi was found, then the equipment room where Tucker is found. Oh, no repository? Repository! I feel like this room's not important. And if it was important, Makoto would be like, I need to keep looking! Alright, so I guess we better just fast travel, right? Weird ass controls, where is you? There you is. There you are. Alright, Toko. I can't just travel to Toko. Fucking okay. Well, I'm here now, physics lab. Walk through the physics lab into the physics lab back room place. Oh, it's GJ.
I was sleeping right here and the killer carried the body away.
I'm super pissed! I missed such an ultimately rare event! Justice Hammer 4, the weapon that was used to kill Tucker. The body was moved, but the murder weapon was just left here. There's some kind of tire mark going through the pool of blood in the middle of the room. That reminds me about the dolly in the repository. Repository. There's blood on its tire. Could that blood have come from here? Which could mean that Tucker's body was moved from the equipment room to the repository using the dolly. Both rooms are on the 3rd floor, so that should definitely have been possible. Equipment room blood stain. But even if the dolly was used to move Tucker's body, what about Hifumi? Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office on the 1st floor. Even with a dolly, there's no way to get on the 3rd floor. That's still a total mystery. Huh? This tarp. I feel like I've seen it somewhere before, and just recently too. Camera, Monokuma's watching us. Curse that Monokuma. That's what he'll say. Yeah, I know about the Genocide show thing. Interesting that it's, yeah, the same, in Japanese. And then there's inconsistencies just in this version of the game as well. Like, it's Genocide Jack, it's Genocide Jill. Other Danganronpa content, it's like, it's just Genocide Jack. For me, I'm just gonna call him Genocide Jack pretty much all the time. That's how I know her. So we'll just lay that out there. Alright, so I guess we go to the nurse's office, 1st floor. Let's just fucking quick travel that shit, not drunk and stumble there. Probably not the gym, right? Wait. What's the first? No. Nurse's office, right? Nurse's office is here. Alrighty, Celestia von Ludenberg. What are you investigating, Celeste? Fucking dope, Makoto. I am not investigating anything, precisely speaking. I am simply going around seeing if Hiro might be hiding somewhere. What about you? Oh, you know, I'm just checking this and that. The main thing on my mind is how someone could have moved Hifumi's body.
Let's see.
How Hifumi was moved, eh? When it disappeared, you were supposed to be in the nurse's office, right?
Yes, indeed.
Correct. Hina was not feeling well, so I stayed behind to look after her. But she seemed to be getting worse, so I took her to the bathroom. And when you got back, the body was gone. We could not have been gone for more than a minute or two, though. Yeah, Hina said the same thing. So then, the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time? It would seem so. To carry off someone as big as Hifumi in only a couple of minutes is... I can't think of it as anything less than impossible. Celeste counters added to my truth bullets. Just to Sahambu. 3. The one that was used to kill Hifumi, someone moved the body but left the weapon behind. It is a rubbish bin. Wait, there's something inside. It's too small to be a handkerchief if it's a glasses cleaning cloth. And it's got some kind of cartoon character on it. Ah, but it's also covered in blood.
Oh,
Ah, did you find something? Yeah, there was a cleaning cloth in the trash can.
huh?
A cleaning cloth. And it's all bloody. Ew. Whoever this belonged to must have used it to wipe up some blood. But who would need to do something like that? I haven't the slightest idea. Yeah, me either, but I think it might be important. Fridge won't be interested. Well, no, the TV won't be. Maybe the fridge. I wonder if there's anything to drink inside. I'm so thirsty. Actually, no, I got you, Makoto. Take a drink for you. There's a bunch of blood packets in here for blood transfusions, I guess. Doesn't help me though. I'm not a vampire. Leave the area. Hey, Bjux. What's up, Bjux? I'm gonna call you now. No, I won't. So this is where you were. I've been looking for you. You have? I wanted to thank you for what you did. Not that you meant to, but you ended up making this little game of ours very interesting indeed. You should go to Hero's room. Oh, and let me give you this. Meet in the dining hall. This is the No Hero Road to get us all to meet up, right? You remember well. Well, the penmanship is pretty remarkable, so it left an impression.
It's all clear now.
Anyway, that makes it clear, right? This is a trap. What is? Things grow ever more exciting. What are you talking about? I've already repaid my debt. I don't owe you any more explanation.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Yasuhiro's message. So he said to go to Hero's room, but what's waiting for me there? That is gonna be first floor, right? The dorms. We're on the 3rd floor now. Because I like literally, I was literally on it. Okay, over here. Door is unlocked! I guess I can go inside. Byakuya did say to go to look. It might not be a great idea, but I'm gonna take the plunge. Ooh, Makoto, you ballsy bastard. Damn, he's got his room decked out. This is Hero's room. There's all kinds of weird stuff in here. Where do you even get it all from? More importantly, he still hasn't turned up. Which means he can't really complain if I don't get his permission to search his room, right? Alrighty, not too much. I think there's something in the cardboard box. It's blueprints for something and some things made out of, it looks like cardboard plastic and plaster. Is this Robo Justice? That's in Hero's room! But wait, these blueprints. Something about them bothers me. Robo Justice blueprints added to my truth bullet. What's Hero's bed smell like? Smells like ganja. You've found 1 ounce of weed under Hero's pillow. Added to your truth bullets. Bathroom, I guess? I soundlessly checked the bathroom. Did it with no sound. Nothing in here. It's pretty grungy though. How does the bathroom even get this dirty? Bruh, Hero gets a lot of shit in his hair. Nothing else? Makoto! Big news! Big news! What's wrong? We found Kyoko! What? Is she okay? Where is she? Wait, I wasn't done. There's more big news!
Just a second.
Robo Justice showed up too! Robo Justice? It's Hero wearing the costume!
Okay.
Anyway, as soon as you can, head to the pool on the second floor! I think Hero and Kyoko would turn up at the same time. Anyway, I have to head to the pool. I ran off to the second floor as fast as I could. Whoop, 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 whoop. Alright. What's over there? Whoop, 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 whoop. I swam across the pool. Or flew across, that's what it looked like. Anyway, Kyoko and... Oh, phew! Man, I had the worst day! Hero? Hero?
Oh, hey, Makoto.
Yeah, duh! Who else would it be? That's a good question. Huh? What? Why do I look like this? What? Someone come along and remodel me while I was sleeping? Oh, was it the Illuminati? Did the Illuminati come along and remodel me in my sleep? Whoa! Robo Justice finally made his appearance, huh? I guess Kyoko's the one that found him.
Right.
I found Hero. He was jammed into the pool room locker. It looked like he was fast asleep, so I kicked him and woke him up.
Don't be mean.
I still can't believe you kicked me, sure. Whoa, you gotta be a little more gentle about it, like, I don't know, caress my face or something.
What?
That's creepy. Anyway, Kyoko, where have you been all this time? You just disappeared all of a sudden without a trace.
Wow.
There was something I had to check up on. What do you mean? Never mind. I can't never mind.
It's nothing.
Never mind.
Hey,
More importantly, she says that, but does she have any idea? Does she know people think she might be spying for the mastermind?
and?
First of all, Hero, you need to explain to us why you're dressed like that.
I mean,
I had no idea. 1 second, I was fast asleep. Don't even know how that happened. Then I woke up, and then I was here. I don't care. Do something about that costume. It pains me to just look at you.
let me out
I
of
don't know
here.
what's up with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help? Why would you make something that you can't take off by yourself?
Got it all wrong.
I didn't make the stupid freaking thing.
It would seem...
There's a clasp on the back that's keeping you from getting it off. It looks pretty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off on your own. We don't really have a choice. Let's help him. Took everyone's help, but slowly we were able to get Hero out of the suit. Took a few minutes, but eventually we got all the pieces off. Phew! Free at last! Isn't it kind of weird how perfectly the suit fits Hero?
So then,
More to the point, nobody but Hero would be able to wear that costume. Wait, what? Hold on a sec.
honestly,
Don't bother trying to act innocent. The blueprints were in your room as
is
well.
that okay?
In other words, it is obvious to everyone that you made the costume. That's true. I saw the blueprints myself. Yeah, me too.
Could it be...
It's obvious. Why did put this costume on and went around attacking everyone?
That's terrible!
Was Hero! Shall we tie him up and gag him?
Just the worst.
Good idea! We wouldn't want him killing anyone else! What? Whoa! Hold on, guys. I think that's going a little too far.
That's right.
He may be a suspect, but he deserves fair treatment. Attacking blueprints? I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
What the heck?
You can't talk your way out of this! It's been decided you killed them! What? Killed who? I have no idea what you're talking about! There must be a fake hero running around!
Insane!
You're the only one who can wear this costume! So who else could possibly be the costumed attacker? How do you know I'm the only one? Maybe you should try it on for yourself before you convict me.
Okay.
Fine! If you're gonna be a jerk about it, I will! Without missing a bit, Hina started putting on the Robo-Justice costume.
Huh.
Sexy.
See? Look. See how loose it is? I mean, come on. I'm blind as a bat in here. Can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing.
I'm telling you, it wasn't me!
And not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
That's not a very nice thing to say.
Don't be mean!
I mean, it's not like I made it. I just got caught up in the moment.
Well, either way,
Who's good
now we
for
know
the
for sure,
moment?
right? I mean, it seems pretty clear that nobody but Hero could have fit into this dumb costume.
In a huff, Hina took the suit back off again.
Ah.
Well, now you're all out of excuses! No, see, it's 'cause you're a girl. If it was another guy, then... Makoto, go ahead. Okay. Against my will, I picked up the pieces off the floor and tried putting them on. It's no good, the arms are too long. There's no way I
Just
can
a
wear
second.
this. See? I told you it was impossible! You are absolutely right. It seems this costume was made to fit Hero's body exactly.
But
Then there's another costume! They must have one that looks the same, befits them, yeah! If you insist on this line of defense, then show us some evidence.
what the heck?
Evidence? You claim there is another suit, yes. But you must find it and show it to us. What the heck?
Just the worst.
Who cares? Hero's the only one without an alibi during this whole thing anyway!
Terrible.
Which is how we knew it was him!
What?
I mean, is that really true? I have no idea what's been happening! Oh, could someone, like, tell me? Costume added to my bullets. Keep scrolling along, I guess. Byakuya-kun, what's up? It's looking more and more like it was really a setup.
Oh.
I certainly did not expect Hiro and Kyoko to turn up at the same time. But where has Kyoko been hiding all this time? I have no idea.
Then perhaps...
Perhaps she really is working for the mastermind. What else would explain her questionable behavior? But you are quite protective of her, yes? That's because she's helped me out so much up until now. If I were the mastermind, that is exactly what I would do to earn your trust. She looks like she's lost in thought. I don't think she's in the mood to talk. I'd better leave her alone. Locker? The big locker near the pool. Hero out of the costume?
Heck?
If you don't tell me what's going on, how am I supposed to understand? I think I figured out that someone's been killed, right? Hey Makoto, who was it? Well, 2 people were killed. Taka and Ifumi, the chat's favorites. What? 2 people?
Just the worst.
Why are you freaking out? You did it! No, Hina, you just hate weed. You just hate stoners. I did not! I say we just kill him anyway! Wait! Hold on! If those 2 are the ones that were killed...
How about that?
That's it! I know who did it!
So then,
You may as well tell us then. Tucker and Ifumi were fighting over Alter Ego, right?
At least 30%.
Which means Alter
right.
Ego and or Chihiro must have done it.
correct.
I see, that's unfortunate.
Please.
Unfortunate?
What the heck?
Oh, hey, I'd love that. Stop trying to trick us. Just admit that you did it, okay? I'm telling you, you got it all wrong.
Oh, so
I
bad.
know. That note. No. Last night, someone slipped a weird note under my door, and here's what it said. I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else. For now, let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m. But the last thing I remember is going to the rec room, then for some reason, I fell asleep.
Hey.
The real killer probably drugged me or
Just
something.
the worst.
Not a chance! You're the ultimate druggie!
So,
No, hold on. He could be onto something. The nurse's office did have chemicals that could do that.
Huh?
Really? I told... I am a hero. I am a hero now. I told you, someone's trying to set me up. You are hurting my voice though, hero. A secret passage? Chance to escape? Someone wrote all that to trick me. Even if that's true, you must be one dumb fish to mind every piece of bait that floats in front of you. Well, after being trapped there so long, even if you know it's a lie, you still gotta check, right? Yeah! They preyed on my desire to get out of here. They deceived me, and where's my weed? They promised. I still don't buy it.
Don't be mean.
Well, you should buy it. Weed's awesome.
Just a second.
Okay, then show us that note. With pleasure. I have it right here in my pocket.
No way.
Looks like I lost it. Yeah, sure. You gotta believe me. I wouldn't hurt a fly. As I said before, if you want us to believe you, you must produce evidence. Can you show us the note? I have no particular issue with what you claim, but if you want us to believe you, give us a reason. What the heck? For serious? Alright. Yasuhiro's a counteroo. Oh, goddammit. Sorry, that was me spilling my drinks. Not even drunk, says everyone who knocks over their fucking drink. I will quickly clean this up and I'll add to some updates. So if people want to be reminded what the last stream tier list was. I've added the other ones. New ones are Kyoko and Celeste. Keeping them in the S tier. I was very, very close to switching Celeste out with Chihiro. Very, very, very close. Sorry, wrong fucking thing, guys. Whoop! Ha! Perfect thing to start on. Byakuya breaking the fourth wall. Now then, shall we resume our investigation? There's no time to waste before the class trial begins. Sorry, Byakuya, I spilled my fucking drink, okay? I went to grab it, my autistic ass got a little excited and like just fucking karate chopped it off the fucking desk. Why do we need to keep investigating? We already know who did it!
What the heck?
Why? Why did you kill them? Tell us, hero! Well, it's like I said.
Worse.
Was it really to get the money Monokuma offered us? Yeah, that must be it. You must be totally broken. That's why. Wait, the false accusation. Ouch! Just be thankful we haven't bound and gagged you. If you have time to yell and carry on, you have time to search for your evidence, right? What? Oh, you're right. I need to look for the second suit and that note. Feet, don't fail me now. I guess I better get back to guard duty. I was going to ask Toko or Genocide Jack to switch with me. But she and Sakura got into a fight. We'd have a catastrophe on our hands. Oh, bye. One by one, everyone peeled away. Makoto, do you have a second? Huh? I want you to help me with the investigation.
It would seem...
It looks like I got a late start on this one, so I need to make up some ground. Sure, I don't mind helping, but can you promise me something? Later, when we have time, will you tell me why you disappeared?
Why is that?
No. To reject me so simply.
Anyway,
I need your help. You don't mind, do you? Okay.
shall we go?
Thanks. Now then, shall we?
Hey,
Hina can bound and gag me any day. I apologize. I don't know what that was, but I cracked myself up. So, Makoto, first I'd like to examine the corpses. Examine the corpses? I've only got eyes for 2D, guys. Examine the corpses? I can't believe I'm hearing that from a girl the same age as me. Dead bodies don't lie, you know. They tell the truth far more easily than the living.
hey,
Wouldn't you agree? How am I supposed to answer?
Anyway.
What's the most normal answer I can give? Anyway, we have to hurry before the class trial begins again. Yeah, you're right. Okay then, show me where the bodies are. They're in the repository. And I guess we should head that way for now. To the repository! The repository is not on this floor. Fuck it. Fast travels for bitches. There's the old me. Whoop, whoop. Gotta see how Makoto stumbles here in real time. Got another vote for Shihiro. It's snapping at Celestials right now. I think we'll just quickly. Guys, got a bit of a bigger edit than usual. There we go. Actual change. Alright. Fumi and Tucker. For a moment, Kyoko seemed to go rigid, but only for a moment.
so then,
Then she started masking again. Well then, let's get started. She crouched down next to Tucker and without hesitation began poking and prodding the bodies.
I knew it.
The Monokuma file was right. They were killed using similar weapons. Her movements were so smooth, she was so calm. Seeing how comfortable she was actually made me feel a little more comfortable.
I see.
Makoto, I found something. You did?
Hey,
I'm just like low-key diagnosing everyone. My little joke is that Makoto's the only neurotypical person. He's surrounded by a bunch of neurodivergents. I mean, that's kind of one way of looking at it. I'm just a normal person. Here are these super hyper anime characters. You remember the wristwatch Tucker always wore on his left hand? He did. Are you so oblivious to the people around you? Do you dislike other people that much? No, that's not it. Anyway, you said he had a watch.
So then,
Take a look. It's broken. You can see the hands aren't moving, right? It's most likely broke when he had his encounter with his assailant. And if you notice, the hands are frozen at just past 6 o'clock. So that would mean the watch was broken sometime just after 6?
that's right.
But last night, Tucker's watch definitely wasn't broken. Hey, you! How long we gonna keep us waiting? Tucker's irritated voice pierced the air as he stared pointedly at his wristwatch. It's almost 10 o'clock, you know that? Bedtime for all the little boys and girls!
In other words,
So if it worked at 10 last night, it couldn't have been broken at 6 p.m. Meaning it must have happened at 6 this morning. Broken wristwatch.
However-
And that's not all. Look at Tucker's left hand. He appears to be gripping something. You're right, there's something white in there.
Makoto,
Ooh, white in his hand? Can you pry it out? No.
because
Rigor mortis has already set in. Boys are better suited to this kind of manual labor, right? Oh, Kyoko, no you didn't, girlfriend. Oh, okay. But I'm so normal. As much as I didn't want to, I grasped Tucker's cold hand. The ice cold hand was nearly enough to cause my heart to stop beating. After some effort, I was finally able to free the object from his tightly clenched fist. It was so demasculating. A piece of paper?
hey,
Was that all he had in his hand? Yep, that's it. This little scrap of paper doesn't seem like much of a clue, does it?
is that right?
I wonder about that. Kyoko then turned to Hifumi's
So
body.
then,
Let's check Hifumi's body now. Perhaps he's left us a few clues of his own. Kyotaku's scrap of paper. So they say that you like defecate when you die. I hope Hifumi wasn't on a full stomach. The biggest problem I have right now is how the killer was able to move Hifumi's massive corpse. Hope he's not like full of Cheetos. From the nurse's office, where he was discovered to here, the repository. All the way from the first floor to the third, and all without anyone noticing it. I just can't see how that's possible. Further, it seems that Hifumi died from a blow to the head. He was most likely killed using Justice Hammer 3, which we found in the nurse's office. But when we found his body in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered in blood. But now they're spotless. Does that mean someone wiped his glasses clean? But who would do that, and why? So, did you
Indeed.
find anything? I did, more than I expected, to be honest. Look at this. A wad of paper?
that's right.
Hifumi had it hidden on him. Hidden?
Indeed.
He'd stuffed it in his pants, so I can only assume he'd hidden it on purpose, you see. In his pants? Wait, so you...
Why is that?
It was just his pants, not like his socks or something. I don't know what that means.
Hey,
Anyway, let's take a look at the paper. Go ahead, Makoto, open it up. When I think of how it was stuffed down his pants, it's like Kyoko jerked them off. It better be important, Hifumi, or I'll never forgive you for this. Right. Smells like... What would it smell like? I really used Cheetos. It smells like Cheetos. Fuck it. A note? I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else. So yeah, read that
So-
before. That sounds very familiar. That's it! It's the same thing Hiro said. Then he was telling us the truth.
however,
Although it's not exactly the same, is it?
Last night, someone slipped a weird note under my door, and here's what it said. I found a hole in it.
That thing, meet at 1 p.m. The time is different. Hiro told us that his note said to meet at 1 a.m. But the note they wrote to Hifumi asked him to meet at 6 a.m.
Is that right?
Hold on, just because Hifumi had the note doesn't mean it was meant for him. Huh?
So...
Part of it had been torn off, right? I think there's likely some meaning there. There's some meaning to part of it being ripped. Could you maybe explain it a little more? Think carefully.
Hey.
Why would he have been clutching that scrap of paper so tightly? I have no idea.
So then...
What if it wasn't just a scrap of paper when he was holding it? What if it was something more important? And how would something important like that become a mere scrap of paper? That's what you need to answer.
The note Hifumi had.
Hey.
Bullet.
And while we're at it, I should tell you one other thing. The two victims this time definitely had their e-handbooks on them. I think it's almost over. So the handbooks have nothing to do with how the murders were carried out. Not that there were any reason to think they were connected to the killings in the first place. So you're saying I don't have to think about the handbooks this time, right?
Is that right?
If you didn't have to think about them at all, I wouldn't have gone out of my way to mention it. All I said was that they weren't used to help carry out the murders. There may come a point, however, where a handbook may play a role. A handbook may play a role. I don't think I understand, but if Kyoko thinks it's important, I'd better keep it in mind.
E-handbook.
Oh, fucking called it. Yay, I can rest my voice. Oh, you can probably hear that it's been beaten up. Fuck, okay. So, it's also easier to manage the votes this way, so
Are you
He-Man and
excited?
Chihiro have got a
Are you
vote.
pumped? It's time for the class trial to begin! Like the bright burst of fireworks, like the flash of a soul clashing with life and death. And so, with
Sorry.
no further ado, everyone please meet at the usual spot. Make your way to the red door on the first floor of the school. See you soon.
It would seem...
It's unfortunate, but I suppose this is where our investigation comes to an end. You'll have to figure the rest out for yourself and come to the proper conclusion. Yeah, you're right.
Shall we go?
Well, we'd better get going. Okay.
The big red door.
Everyone had heard Monokuma's proclamation and they were gathered by the red door. And as soon as we were all there...
Monokuma appears!
Hello! Hello, hello! He's multiplied!
Wrong.
Nope, not multiplication. It just looks that way because of an illusion. I'm moving so fast it only looks like I've multiplied. Another Dragon Ball joke, I think. Can you guys tell which one is the real Monokuma? Can we just get on the elevator already?
Boy.
You're not playing along.
Stop talking.
We're not here to play with you.
Okay.
Okay, fine.
Hey!
Then if everyone's here and ready to go, please board the pain train, elevator. Boo-hoo. I'll see you guys down here. Bloop, bloop, bloop.
Let's go.
Okay then, shall we?
Please!
What the heck?
You'll never be mentally prepared, you fucking stoner! You can't run away anymore, Hero! You're gonna pay for your sins!
What the heck?
I told you already, I didn't do it. Just weed for serious.
That reminds me, did you ever find the other costume or the note?
Well, no, but
How unfortunate. Then it would seem we have our culprit.
Hey,
This isn't the place to talk about it. Save your accusations for when we get to the courtroom.
That's right.
She's right. Let's get down there first, and the story can really begin. Yeah, good idea. That's right. I have to do it. Gotta get our determination up. I can't let whoever killed Hifumi and Taka get away with it. If everyone who's still alive, and for the 2 that lost their lives. A deadly hope, a deadly despair, a deadly ruse, a deadly investigation, a deadly class trial. That line's gonna come up somewhere. Alright, the one who killed Hifumi and Taka, the one who killed 2 of our friends, the killer is... one of us! And let's just get to it. I took one last deep breath and exhaled slowly. I began to walk towards the elevator, once everyone was aboard. The doors closed on their own, and the steel box began to move. Oh, elevator's looking more empty now. The clunking of the elevator kept us company as we fell further and further down. There was no going back. Until we settled all this, we couldn't go anywhere. I'm not sure how long it was before the elevator finally came to a stop. The elevator doors slid open, opening up onto a cruel fate. When I see all of you gathered together like this, I realize just how few of you there are left. Your school life is slowly reaching its climax.
Just the worst.
Only because of you!
Why are you making us do such cruel things to each other?
What? You really hate me so much? But I'm so cute!
Come on.
Stop goofing around and begin the trial. Don't rush me! Of course I'm gonna start it! I would never be like, stay tuned for the action-packed class trial after this commercial break. Now, if anyone got ads at that point, that would have been great. I'd never hold out on you like that. Okay, let's begin. Get to your assigned seats. So the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith, a deadly class trial. I'll cheer for you. Yep. We'll save us here. I do not think I've gained a single ability. In fact, I'm pretty confident to say I haven't. Yeah, got rid of, yep. Alright, before we go in, we're gonna get a Kyoko vote. Boom! Kyoko just hit 30. Let's just jump in.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Now then, to begin with...
We already know who did it.
Was that?
It was Hiro.
Was it?
He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him in that suit. Don't try and deny it. You killed them.
I didn't! Someone knocked me out! I was asleep the whole time! I don't know anything about it!
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
Who are you calling a murderer?
I am sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence. Blueprints for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it, and all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling. It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know!
Is Hiro really the killer, or before anything else, we have to make that clear. Alright. Let's hear his message, the blueprints, and the costume.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I don't know anything about that stuff! It's not true! It's a conspiracy!
Hero, why? Why did you kill them?
No! Just hold on a second!
Compelling evidence that Hero's the killer. Is that really true?
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough.
Oof! Alright. We've got the old what bullet with what thing. Might have to look at the evidence. Oh, they think I'm a fraud and they're going to be like, Makoto did it!
Everything we found in your room.
Ah, okay, no way. Is it,
The blueprints, the suit parts, they are
I think
all
it's a
proof
copy
enough
bullet.
that you are the culprit.
Well, let's have a quick look at the evidence. So, let's just make sure that what's significant? These are blueprints for the costume that are found in his room. The arms being like this, the costume itself. No one but him could have fit it. In addition, anyone wearing it would not be able to see their feet or bend at the waist more than 90 degrees. And what was his message? How does it count? Yeah, just meet at the dining hall. It could be this.
I don't know anything about that stuff!
It's not true. It's Hero, why?
No! Just hold on a second!
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints,
No.
the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are
I know it's not true! It's a conspiracy!
Hero, why? What?
No! Just
He
hold
should have
on a
been
second.
meeting someone at 1. Where was he?
Everything we found in your room.
Maybe it is the copy bullet. I'm having the first question, eh?
Everything we found in your room.
I think it
The
is.
blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof
No,
enough.
it's not. Alright.
Shoot!
I mean, it is funny. I knew something like this was going to happen in my playthrough at some point. Very first
Everything we
question,
found in
though.
your room.
Getting destroyed.
The blueprints.
I mean, worst
the suit
case scenario, I have to
parts,
start
they are all
again.
Proof enough that you are the culprit.
Yeah, it is the handwriting.
I don't know anything about that stuff! It's not true! It's a conspiracy!
Nah, just more against like
Hero,
obtuse.
why?
Like you kind of
Why did
know
you
where
kill
it's
them?
taking
No!
it.
Just hold on
But
a
maybe one
second.
little figure to think about, then you struggle with the bullet.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof.
But no, it's the handwriting. It doesn't match the handwriting on the blueprints. Thank you, chat.
Are we sure Hero really made those blueprints?
Thank you, chat.
What do you mean?
Happy to see you guys watching. Getting me out of jams now.
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hero wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared. The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say? When you compare it to the blueprints.
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Come on! I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
So Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hero's the culprit?
And he is not the only one. I think Hero is innocent as well.
I think Hero is innocent as well.
Then who was in that Robo-Justice suit? Is it like Hero said?
Hero's got the
Was there
Byakuya
really
seal
someone
of
running
approval.
around in a second suit?
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
And of course he passes it off to me.
Who was in the Robo-Justice suit?
Suspicious individual, the one that must have been in the suit. The Illuminati.
I got it!
Yay, I got some health back.
Other than Hero, I can't think of anyone else it could have been. Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit, and we never found any kind of second suit.
Then there can be no doubt. Hero is the prime suspect.
That doesn't make any sense. You just said Hero didn't do it.
It makes perfect sense. Hero was the suspicious
Makes
individual in the
perfect
suit.
sense. This is
He's not the
Danganronpa, you
culprit.
wench.
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
What? Now that's a bold assumption. And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
Of course. But before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first. So let's get that out of the way.
Togami family.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around!
All things have a proper order.
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body. It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items. Makoto, can you tell us what they were?
Damn it. Things that were used to move his body. They must have been the things. I guess maybe use the blue top.
I got it!
One more thing. The Dooley. Repository to Dooley.
I got it!
Yay, I'm getting all my health back.
They were a dolly and a tarp, right?
Foiled again.
So, let's see if I can explain. Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room, and then we rediscovered it in the repository. And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right? It was the same tarp that, up until then, was stored in the equipment room. So the killer must have seen it there, and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there. But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly. Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository, so did the dolly.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body. Am I right? But are you sure you are not mistaken?
Huh?
Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room. Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
She's raised an objection. How do you respond?
There is no shame in being wrong. Nobody expects much from you anyway. We have all accepted the fact
when the
that you
sound
rarely
drops.
understand what is going on around you.
Wow, I've never had anyone sound so nice while being so mean that maybe I can change your mind. If I can just explain to them why the dolly must have been moved from the equipment room to the repository. A new element has been added to bullet time battles. Yep, why not? Oh, reloading. Starting with this next bullet time battle, we're going to add one more ingredient to the recipe. On the bottom of the screen, underneath the tempo marker, you'll see your ammo count. Up until now, there hasn't really been a limit on how... Okay, so I think I'm going to worry about. I think it just adds another button push. But from now on, locking on won't be enough to handle them. Now it will cost you 1 bullet to destroy a single remark. Once I'm out of bullets, I can destroy any more statements, no matter... So triangle and square, basically. Square when I need to reload. Yeah. Triangle when I want to attack it. Alright. You automatically reload during fever. Alright. Straight into this shit now, eh?
You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Do your worst. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Do your worst. I cannot agree.
This should prove it.
KO!
If you're asking for proof that the dolly moved, I have it right here. When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it. There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that matched the dolly wheel's tread. The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room, and as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
Jeez, does Celeste really hate me that
Well,
much?
anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo Justice didn't do it. Because if it's not a killer robot, then what kind of robot is it?
You mean the killer's not a robot?
I'm not
Worst
sure
problem.
that really matters.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer. If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
By looking at how the body was moved, it will be clear why the person in the suit couldn't have done it. What does he mean by that? Who gets the costume?
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room. And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle,
Waiting for an opening.
all you'd have to do is bend
Ah, boom!
No, it's wrong.
Know-it-all Makoto's here.
You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low.
So the costume is not very articulated.
But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
What do you mean?
Think back to what you said when we were all
Oh, I love the
checking out
class
suit
trials.
together.
They're just pure
Remember?
anime melodrama. They're fucking great. Hype as fuck music for like people essentially just arguing with each other. You got this like Euro rave, like fucking trancey music going on. Danganronpa V3 is definitely my favorite for the soundtrack. Anyway, sorry, I'm blind as a bat in here. Tina voice. Can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. And not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
There's absolutely no chance that the costume was taken off because you can't take it off by yourself. Well, it's kind of both of those. Well, no, it's
I got it!
you can take it off.
I don't think taking
Not
off the
yourself.
suit was an option. If you remember,
I don't know what's up with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help?
Why would you make something that you can't take off by yourself?
I didn't make this stupid fucking thing.
There's a clasp on the back that's keeping you from getting it off. It's pretty sturdy, but there's a clasp on the back, goddammit.
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Then, you really can't take it off by yourself? Hero wasn't just making it up?
Oh, but I so wanted to kill him!
Of course I wasn't making it up.
Fucking stoner!
If he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it.
In swimming, they say winners don't do drugs!
Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
Yeah, that's right!
So, it's really, really true that Robo-Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been
Hina just had
Hero
bad
in the
tunnel
robot
vision on
suit,
Hero.
correct?
She just wanted them out.
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took? You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo-Justice? If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that? Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
How did you get hurt? That guy hit me. What guy? Robo-Justice. Well, that's what I decided to call him just now.
So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question. The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hero, without a doubt.
Yeah, that's gotta be right.
Hold on a second!
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion. Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it. Before we rush to a verdict, shouldn't we explore every single possibility? Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
You know, the books were the books. The first movie wasn't that good, but Jim Carrey carried his Count Olaf, and the Netflix series just made me kind of think, yeah, I don't think this series is easy to adapt. I feel like they try. And yep, there's my review of a series of unfortunate events from the beginning.
What a pain in the ass!
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
All right then, let's take another look back at what happened. I suppose we could start with this morning. 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up, so we went to look for everyone. That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it was Robo-Justice.
Robo-Justice.
It also soon became clear that this same Robo-Justice had abducted Hifumi. We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library. He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect. But not long after leaving the nurse's office...
Oh! What's wrong? I saw the shadow, something moving around top of the stairs.
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the second floor. And soon after that,
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared.
And then,
huh? What was that? It came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi. This is bad. We have to go back.
At that point, we decided to divide up into two groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office, while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect. When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi dead.
Dead.
And that's when we heard the body discovery announcement. I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the third floor to let the others know what had happened.
Meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room. We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time, because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi. Then the three of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us. And she told us something very surprising.
Very surprising. Hifumi's body had disappeared.
We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so we hurried back again.
Classic. We just left Toko. This can't be happening. Are we hallucinating all this or something?
But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing. Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for two missing dead bodies. And after some time...
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository, which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
I think that about covers it.
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated. It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation. And from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them. Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
The contradictions hidden in what happened to Taka. In order to uncover the truth of this case, I have to find him no matter what. Okay, his wristwatch. I feel like Hero's message ain't gonna be it.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after.
Let's see if I turn out the watch again. Okay. Hands are pointing just after 6. The watch was still working.
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
In order that the Justice Hammers were used to commit murders.
So,
It just says they were hit over the head, right? Similar weapon.
regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was...
We already know what order they were killed in.
Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3,
While Taka's death...
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if
Taka
he
was
died
killed
before
first, is
Hifumi,
what
or
it's trying to
perhaps
lean
it was after.
towards.
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice...
No.
I was like, I feel like this is a copy bullet.
Hold on. There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers. If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi? Okay then, let's see the proof.
Evidence that proved that he was killed before Hifumi. Hangman's Gambit. Wristwatch. Hangman's Gambit's definitely my least favourite. In fact, thinking on it, I love Danganronpa 2, but if there's one thing I don't like about Danganronpa 2...
Now I understand.
Oh god, it loves the Hangman's Gambit. Oh, how it overuses the Hangman's
I got
Gambit.
it. Papa's wristwatch. See? Look. It broke with the hands
I
pointing
think
just
Danganronpa
past
2's
6
got the
o'clock.
lamest Hangman's Gambit as well.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because as of last night,
Hey you, how long are you gonna keep us waiting? Tucker's irritated voice. Yeah, Danganronpa's 2's Hangman's Gambit's kind of infuriating and you do it a lot. Everything else is kind of an improvement in a welcome addition. One's is like basic to the point that it's not like annoying, it's just basic, like fill in the word. And then V3's is kind of cool. V3 in general for the mini games, again, nails it. Alright, it's almost 10 o'clock, you know that? Bedtime for all little boys and
so
girls.
if it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning.
And that would be his official time of death.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us. We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window. Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder, but all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe.
Unga! What was that? Came from downstairs. Must have been Hifumi in the nurse's office. We must go back.
When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko. Then we all ran down to the nurse's office, and that's where we found his body.
That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up.
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream. Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct? And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing.
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then!
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body. Because, as we just established, She was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway.
In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies. On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
So what now, Kyoko?
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles. So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how. In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing. And according to what Celeste said,
We could not have been gone for more than a minute or two, though. So then the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's fat ass in that short amount of time? It would seem so.
his body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the third in that short amount of time?
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
What? How?
If the dead body were to move itself.
The dead body moved on its own?
No! Not another ghost!
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is, we thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
He was alive?
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
That it isn't possible.
The idea that Hifumi was still alive, is it really possible?
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Joker's like, bitch, you refuting me? I think it's actually a copy bullet.
Are you
saying that when we first found
I think it's someone else.
Actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery of Hifumi's dead body had been found, and that is why the announcement.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible.
I think it's someone else's discovery in
Hifumi
one
was
of
dead.
those.
And you know that how? Surely you heard the body discovery announcement. Hifumi's dead body had
The white noise tells me it's that.
No, that's wrong.
It's actually Tucker's body being discovered by the other people.
Was the body discovery announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
Of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So there's a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if 2 bodies had been found, there really should have been 2 announcements.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum.
No, actually, that was plenty. He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time, which means even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again. If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Huh? Later on?
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice.
Second body discovery announcement. The first time it played was when we found each body in the nurse's office in the equipment room. And the second time was when Toko is found unconscious, when both the bodies are rediscovered.
We heard it a second time in the repository, when we rediscovered the 2 bodies.
Ding dong, ding dong. Body's been discovered.
It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
And in reality, when the 2 dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
So, when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet. Meaning, he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
And that's just part of it. There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
Oh, I know! Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom!
That is the worst logic I have ever heard. But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
Okay then, let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body. Then it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
This whole thing is pointless.
There has to be proof that shows Hifumi was still alive. Glasses, cleaner, cloth. Glasses are in here.
Well, here's one thing we do know. The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office. And then, while me and Celeste were in the bathroom, his body disappeared.
And the next time we saw his body, it was in the repository.
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body after being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
No, that's wrong!
Bitch.
No, that's wrong!
In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository. His glasses. That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can.
Evidence I found. The cleaning cloth. Give me some health, please.
I got it!
Good boy!
It was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot. One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean. And the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right? And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
The character was Princess Piggles from Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
The best anime.
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
Nerds!
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is... What exactly?
Yes, all the lawyerings and the what have you.
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
That's a good point.
And it must have been him, right?
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet. And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
But then, if he was just pretending to be dead, what was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
Did anyone else catch on to that?
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out. So he just dumped
Wasn't
it
saying that was
everywhere.
a truth bullet, but I did examine it and get a mono coin.
But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done. God, what an idiot!
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained.
Yeah, the blood packs in the
It
fridge.
should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
You guys are all suspecting Hifumi was, Hifumi's corpse was sus pretty early. One who moved Taka's body was Hifumi.
It could only have been Hifumi.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked?
Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right? So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside. Which means when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
But that means he took part in the murders.
I just can't believe it.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
There's more?
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed. You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The item he took off of Taka's lifeless body?
What did he take off Taka? He took the note.
I got it! You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Hidden note?
Took a few hits in the start, almost made my fucking full influence
That's
bar
right.
back.
We found it stuffed in his pants.
What? In his pants?
Yes, his pants.
Yes, his pants.
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now. Take a look at what the note says.
I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so it's in the equipment room
That's
6
the note I
a.m.
was telling you about. The one that told me where to go. Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
It's not the same?
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro. And that person could only have been...
Hifumi's pants.
I got it! That's right! Taka!
In attack mode!
The killer used this note to draw out Taka
Oh, sorry.
and murder him.
Stupid touchpad button.
Hello? Over here! Objection! Objection!
And yeah, I've decided totally going to play Ace Attorney after the Danganronpa games. They announced in the Capcom showcase that they're going to be releasing the Apollo Justice trilogy, so... Oh god, there'll be 6 games.
I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right? So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy!
Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka and Huffy is Hifumi, right?
Ugh! Yes! Why must you ruin it every time?
Man, Genocide Jack is seriously scary, but still. You SOB! I can't let her get to me. Ooh, I got a lot of bullets. A lot of bullets.
Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to me?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
No, that's
All
wrong.
the Zoomers out there, they're like, TikTok! 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 TikTok!
No, there absolutely is a
That's what we
connection.
call TV!
What the hell are you talking about?
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered. You've already proven that using his wristwatch. But there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the note. I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that... No further objections!
Okay, you win!
Someone used that note to trick Taka. Just the same as me.
So that all basically came down to like, but what about this? Get the fuck out of here, Genocide Jack. Okay, Zoe.
The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster. Telling people they found a way out.
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it?
Stuffed down his pants, no less!
Most likely, Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
He stole
Oh,
it?
Toko now has 1 point.
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show us.
Get to climb out of the negatives. Proof that Hifumi stole a note from Taka. His hand? Or the note in his hand? Yeah.
I got it! When I searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from is... I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note.
Yup, they're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from its death grip, leaving behind only one small scrap. Did I get all that right?
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Whoa. Yeah. After seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure. In fact, he was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive!
Oh man.
Sorry, no.
Kush is taking them places.
When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead. The second body discovery
Truly
announcement
and
proves
completely,
that.
hero. You could say he was ultimately
Who
dead.
killed Hifumi?
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true killer.
He was killed in the repository. So he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body. In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Wait, but me and Sakura were together. Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus! Who are you calling a walrus?
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
The weapon?
Yeah, because I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right? So if Hifumi was killed in the repository, the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi, then put the hammer back where they found it. But wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
I'm surprised.
Hell yeah, it's packed in there good and tight.
He's right, though. I don't understand it either. The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments. But if the hammers were already laying around those other rooms...
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers? Personally, I haven't a clue.
So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Then,
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi?
Weapon was actually used to kill Hifumi. The whole picture surrounding the case won't become clear until we figure it out. Spotless hammer, I'm looking at you.
What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice Hammer 3?
Fine, I'll listen to the rest of the argument.
What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice Hammer 3? Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
Well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance!
I'm jumping the gun a little bit.
Shoot! What was used to kill? Was it Justice Hammer 3? Maybe Justice...
Well, there's one. How was the culprit? How did nobody... Sounds like a Justice Hammer. Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more...
Well, one thing seems pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers!
Shut up, Stoner!
The murder weapon wasn't a Justice Hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
But, seriously? A different weapon?
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris. But for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean.
Huh?
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones, and even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
And whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him.
Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him. The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder. So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
We did talk about how there wouldn't be any reason for anyone to work together, at least that's what we thought at first, but...
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Based on the rules that even if more than one, only the one who actually carried out the act, assuming the rule holds true, it is simply
That is how...
But that only really applies.
Fuck, I keep shooting the wrong things. Okay.
If there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Based on the rules that have even if more than one, only the one who actually carried out the act, assuming the rule holds true.
No, it's wrong.
Gotcha.
Since there were two murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward benefit?
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in a scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime. And based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka. They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating two separate incidents. And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look. A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
That's just awful! How could anyone be so cruel?
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems odd.
The effort made to convince us that the two murders were the same. That was the main characteristic this time. Kyoko must have noticed the fact from the very beginning, which is why she said not to look at this as a series of connected events, but entirely separate incidents. Kyoko really is amazing, although, when you think about it, she's almost too amazing. Like, it's almost unnatural how good she is.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved. But then, who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
That's problem numero uno right now!
Oh, who's the damn killer? Find out right after this pee break. Alrighty. Coming back. Oh no, that's my full screen. There we go, Danganronpa. There's only really one person who seems to fit. And it was... very clearly Hina. Nah, I did that. I took a hit on purpose.
Shoot!
I hope I faked some people out. I hope that had people's jaws dropping for a second. Alright.
It was Celeste.
So I'm the suspicious individual now, am I? I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke? I wonder.
So what you are saying, then, is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi. The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him, that I would go within 10 feet of that shit-brains, that lazy, worthless, goddamn idiot! Pardonnez-moi.
Pardonnez-moi. Enchanté.
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
Is that so?
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
What is it, Downey? Hifumi and Celeste had in common? Encountering
I got it!
individual?
The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it? The only ones who ever actually saw Robo Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Shush. The adults are talking now.
Sorry.
You're a teenager too, Byakuya.
As he said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual. If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said?
Something moving around the top of the stairs.
We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to
I mean,
have
I'll
seen.
explain. I think I'll take the time to quickly explain why this is personally my least favorite trial from this Danganronpa. And yeah, it's kind of obvious from the get-go that it's Celeste. Because you do have her kind of acting a little bit out of character from the start. She normally kind of hangs back and kind of, interjects sometimes. But yeah, you kind of get that sense she's controlling the narrative very early. And then the trial just starts with her, just going for the fucking throat as well. My first time playing this, I was definitely like, oh, Celeste, you're fucking sus as fuck.
Next, to draw us all
You're
to
extra
the physics
aggressive
lab
this
up
trial.
on the third floor.
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
And when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said?
It's a rather intense scream for someone like you, yeah. I saw him, I swear!
Once she'd
The
done
costume
her
man!
job of getting us
You
all
do
up
not
to the
look like
physics
Optimus
lab,
Prime!
it was time for her partner to get to work.
Huh? But yeah, next week's case, that's one that I'm gonna slap the Sam seal of approval on. That one's gonna get put up for a weekend vote. That came from downstairs. It must have been in the nurse's office.
It was to get us to divide into two groups. So that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up.
I mean, it's still pretty fun. Getting Celeste in the corner is pretty satisfying. Pretty well. Alright, blah blah blah. Goddamn, we've
Well,
looked at this shit a
if
lot.
Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected. And on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on.
Piercing. Sound like you're embarrassed to be screaming.
That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the 3rd floor, everyth's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
Goddamn, Byakuya, it wasn't that bad.
I just realized another strange thing.
Your autism's just super sensitive to sound. You need earmuffs, Byakuya, that's all
When
there
we
is.
found Hifumi in the nurse's office,
Just getting
who we
some
now
sensory
know was only
stimuli from
pretending
the
to be
pitch.
dead.
I was certainly not expecting this. I did not imagine that Hifumi would be murdered.
Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
I don't believe it. Everything, the whole thing was one big act.
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah. I was feeling kinda sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom. Wait! Then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed. Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
Wouldn't you agree,
I have no idea
Celeste?
what you mean.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh, did I?
Oh, did
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that that one little slip-up was your undoing.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
I must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around frightened and confused. We're all going to die here. We're all going to die, just like those guys died. Oh, yeah, you did fuck up,
I remember her saying that too, but I don't understand what's so strange about it.
G'day, Conchuta Madre. I absolutely butchered that, and I'm sorry. That's how we tell people who are between the ropes in Chile.
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room. Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed. So Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the 4 of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead. Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Although I don't really get what it means.
Yeah, I get it, but could you explain anyway?
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
Byakuya said that Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. What is he alluding to? Nah, mate, or are you coming around? You coming around to the asshole himself?
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and...
Celeste's account. Fumi's body disappeared when Celeste and Hina left the nurse's office to use the bathroom. Apparently they weren't gone for more than a minute or two.
confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die.
just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it, what was so strange about Celeste's comment?
Celeste said what she did, she shouldn't have known. Yeah, that in mind what's so strange about what she said. Yeah, I know it's those guys.
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this.
Celeste accounts.
Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died.
Nope. Your meaningless words tire me. Please stop wasting my time. Do have some obtuseries.
They must really be enjoying this.
I do feel like it's copy bullet.
Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes. What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
Damn it.
All I said was, they must really be enjoying the sight of us standing around. They must be positively. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys. And that
something
is all
strange
I
to
said.
those
All it
guys.
takes. What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
So strange.
They must really enjoying the sight of us. They must be positive. We are all going to die. We are going to die. Just no, it's wrong.
Gotta like take a step back and like just kind of think about it. You're like, I know what
no
the game's
reason
trying to
Celeste should
say,
have said,
but I'm
"Just
trying
like
to figure
those
out what
guys died."
pieces it specifically wants me to use to get there.
When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was dead.
In attack mode. Seriously, if there does not exist a Photoshop of like Makoto like with a
And
dual
we
disc
didn't run
on,
into her until after we were all out in the hall.
with a dual disc and Yu-Gi-Oh in that pose, and I'm
So
sad.
there was never any chance for her to have
pushed
seen
the
his
wrong
body
buttons,
in
got a
the
little
equipment
distracted.
room for herself.
So how did you know, Celeste? How did you know more than one person had been killed? And how did you know they were both guys? Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right? So she could have
See,
been
look at
dead
that
too.
fucking pose. I'm going to beat you at your own twisted game, Pegasus.
You all have such vivid imaginations. You know that?
Imaginations.
Oh, I know exactly what Baitark emote's gonna come from this. Can't
You
reveal the
claim
character yet.
that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took? How do you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away?
Picture hero? Chihiro is now at the top.
It has to be some kind of setup, right?
That's hard again.
So let's put the suit on, and then she used the
Yeah,
camera's timer
Byakuya
to-
would be Kaiba too. He's got the attitude of Kaiba. He's got,
Have you so quickly forgotten? You are
he's got the
only
self-assured,
one who could have
cocky,
possibly
rich
fit
boy
into that
attitude
suit.
of Kaiba.
Plus, I happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer.
Yeah, Kaiba! Yeah, I like it. It's a good pun.
In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of Hifumi.
You just
being
made a
dragged
lot
away.
of Japanese people laugh, because I know Japanese people love their puns and wordplay.
If everything
I feel like that's a
told
really
you was
good
a
one.
lie, how can this picture exist?
Simple. Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
What could you possibly mean by that?
Surely there are other explanations than the one you've offered up.
No, there is no other explanation.
Other explanations? if it wasn't a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away, it was Hifumi's fat ass dragging the suspect. Hifumi and the suspect had been drinking.
I got it! It's not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
he's laying down some cards on this fucking jewel disc. Kingdom Hearts.
That's certainly within the realm of possibility. The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around. And the
You're
strange
in denial,
costume
though.
might only exist to lead us astray.
You're in
farther.
denial, redhead.
If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
Yeah, thank you very much for the follow. Really exciting knowing I got someone from Chile here in the chat. Hopefully see you next time. Take care, buddy.
Such a thing is utterly impossible. Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Our redhead totally knew who it was from the start.
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous
I
at
don't
all.
think they wanted to admit it.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
No, shut your mouth. Shut your slut mouth. Celeste thinks she can prove there's no way Hifumi was dragging the suspect away, but is that really possible? Oh, we got the hope versus despair version. Means we're getting close to the truth. Literally listening to this on my car ride home.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out! Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight! You tried to make me look like the bad guy!
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Then the fortune-telling idiot is the culprit after all!
No way!
No, it's not right. There's definitely a contradiction to what Celeste is trying to claim.
You just...
Definitely got to do with the costume and how it's like stiff as fuck. Okay, so we had the blueprints. Have the arms bend like this. Costume. Anyone seen it would not be able to see their feet or bend at the waist. Yeah, where's the nose? I found a hole. Nah, it's not that.
Me up in that suit after I passed out! Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight! You tried to make me look like the bad guy!
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfect. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Simple as the costume.
No. Even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that. Because that Robo Justice suit had a certain characteristic.
Can't bend it the way.
That's right! They totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake. I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
Checkmate?
I think Celeste made a bad bet.
Don't make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate?
Want to see the gambling puns?
Celeste? Clearly, you want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem. Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying?
Hey, Hifumi! Who was it? Who attacked you? Who tried to kill you? Who killed me? Right, I remember your name.
When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not? He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro. In other words, Yasuhiro Hagakure!
Wait, but my name isn't really Yasuhiro. It's actually Taro.
Your confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated.
He did say Yasuhiro, but are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
Kyoko, what do you mean by that?
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
He was the one true Japanese person, and he referred to everyone by their last
I
name.
got it! That's right! Our last names! He called us all by our last names!
The rest of us are all fake-ass Japanese.
Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once, for example. So if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name, Hagakure.
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, his first name. Indecent?
Don't talk.
Random chance. Now isn't that a convenient explanation? No, there's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal. But he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone here.
Well, no. Hold on.
Oh, my friend's
There's
online.
one person it could apply to, and that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
What did you just say?
I'll be like, hey, Sean, that's our Sakura stan. I'll be like, why aren't you here standing for Sakura? She's mid now.
You take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit! Come on! Enough with your idiotic blather! Yasuhiro is a loser's name! Do I look like a loser to you? Well, do I? What? I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
Okay, then fill us in. What's your real name?
Make sure your ear holes are wide open and listen up! My real name is Celestia Ludenberg. Could you please stop making me repeat myself over and over again?
So when we first met Celeste, she was quite insistent her name was Celeste. And Makoto went like kind of out of his way to be like, you are so clearly Japanese. Being like the only person who actually has black hair out of all of us. You look the most Japanese. I have to do something to make her accept it.
Hifumi was trying to tell us something. He wanted us to know the killer's last name, Yasuhiro.
If there's one person here who might have that last name,
It would have to be you, Celeste. You haven't told anyone what your real name is.
how many times do I have to tell you? My name is Celestia Ludenberg! God damn it!
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending. It's the truth. And since you have no way to contradict me,
The handbook, bitch.
That's it! The handbook!
What?
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when it boots up, right? Monokuma told us all about it before.
This handbook is absolutely vital to a healthy school life, so don't lose it. When you start it up, it will display your name. Always make sure you have the right one. Now, this is not your everyday notebook. It has so many more uses than that.
So all we have to do is check her handbook, and that'll clear up everything. That's how we can find out Celeste's real name.
That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened? Please, just tell us.
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up. Because until the game's over, you never know what might happen.
Fine then. Let me settle it.
Let me settle it.
Let me go over the case again.
I'm
from
gonna
the
use
beginning,
my ultimate
and shed
anime
light on all
and
your
finisher
crimes.
on you, courtroom
And
style.
that'll bring everything to an
In
end.
attack mode, and lay down some face downs. I'm gonna put a puzzle together. Okay, so this was the hardest part of the last case. They should kill me, didn't it? Okay, Hifumi was talking to the Blackened. My first impression says this. Hifumi facing the Blackened, shaking their hand. Banish Celeste to the Shadow Realm, I love it. Act 2, Hero walked in, hey guys. Got Leon, yeah, a few of these are from the last 2 trials. Okay. Talking about Gagging Hero? Go over and we'll see what we don't have. So, Fumi and the Blackened, we're putting the Robo Justice costume on. I guess it's this one? No, it looks like him dragging the fucking tarp. The camera, right. Celeste took a photo of the camera. Taka was there in his Super Saiyan form and everything. Or Taka Mondo Taka. Just gonna be Justice Hammer 4. 6 o'clock. Let's 7, that's 1. Maybe readying the hammer. Think readying the hammer. Oh, it's a clear hammer though. Right, let's skip ahead. Whoa! Super Saiyan did not save him from that. He was using Justice Hammer 4, correct? So bloody Justice Hammer 4. Okay, 6 minutes to do this still. Act 4. Kodo had a look at the camera, saw the silly photo. Library. Yes, Hifumi cleaned his glasses or some fucking shit. I was going to have something to do with the time. We'll see if we got this. So Taka was killed at 6. Ah, fuck. Okay, actually. So Hero got knocked out at 1. So the time was 1. Fumi's backpack, maybe? Very well, yeah, must be. I did rethink the context. Oh no, it is just past 6, I was looking at it from an angle. Okay. Fumi is wiping himself though, so maybe the backpack goes there. So he killed Tucker. When did he start moving Tucker though? Alright, so he did the shit with the blood pack. Whoa, 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 whoa. He span around. True anime styles. Definitely not that. Can't be that. Pretending to be dead, and then they saw the body at different times. This is fucking elaborate, yo. Act 6. Yeah, he dragged the body. And he was being a Hifumi. So this will be the bloody wooden mallet. Maybe? Really just the same before on Tucker, or was it? Okay. Maybe even Justice Hammer 2 in fucking Hero? Oh, I'm running out of the goddamn time. This one bothers me. Oh yeah, bloody. I guess we'll just try that. Yeah, this one bothers me. It's definitely not the Byakuya. No, I think Fumi got the shit out of his backpack. Fake blood on Justice Hammer 3.
The killer is you!
Here he goes.
Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. Hifumi, with an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes.
So far, so good.
First, they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning.
Thinking maybe just Hero being like, what's going
Here's
on?
exactly what happened. First, they convinced someone to meet them.
That was it. Hello, we got a first time chatter. Welcome. Kiyotaka was killed by Hifumi, who was then killed by Celeste, which is now known as Yasuhiro. Yep, Mr.
The murderous
Mr.
duo
Ultimate
intended to
Stoner.
pass Hiro off as the prime
Yep,
suspect.
pretty much.
So when they met up with him, they drugged him, knocked him out, and stuffed him into the Robo Justice suit. Next, Hifumi positioned himself to make it look like Robo Justice was attacking him, while the killer used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault. They did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on Hiro. When they were done with him, They shoved him, still unconscious, into the pool room locker.
Thanks for the follow, man.
And then finally, at 6 a.m., they moved into
I
the
like that
murder
people have
phase of
been
their
enjoying
plan.
these Danganronpa streams, because I do love these
They
games.
called Taka to the equipment room.
I really do. It's a treat to get to say on the guy who got the Pops and People's
And that's where Hifumi
Danganronpa
killed
series.
him, making it the scene
Absolute
of the first
treat.
murder. The murder weapon was Justice Hammer 4, which was left there in the equipment room. The reason Hammer number 4 was used was to create confusion about the order of the crimes. So, next they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims to solidify
That's the
Robo
first one's
Justice
the
as
one
a
you haven't
suspect.
played?
The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room. There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1 and the Robo Justice pictures they'd taken. They wanted to make sure we bought the surprise attack store. The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2 and an injured Hifumi to sell us that story. With these 2 incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds that the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did. We fell right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that. But
Fuck! Yeah. So I'm short on time, and I can only really make one more guess. Have I used the hammer? Look! Really, can only be a Justice Hammer 2. No, or is it the fucking... Better not... Fuck! Do you know what's funny? It's alright, it just means I have to do it again and I'll skip through it to where we got up to. But I do find it funny because it means everyone just goes, Makoto! Makoto did it! Makoto did it! It was Makoto! It would appear the one with the most votes is Makoto! No, wait!
I refuse
I have
to
to
give up yet.
continue! Makoto made such a poor final argument when, like, all the facts are pretty much there. He made such a bad, poor argument that everyone just, like, swayed to, nah, Makoto's a sussy bucker. He's a sus motherfucker. Okay, so we know this was right. That was right. And yeah, like, it's gonna happen in general. One thing I've definitely said with these games, like, it's true of other games in the same genre. I will say, like, the Ace Attorney games, you do have the same problem where you know the basics of where, like, the narrative's trying to take you, but you're getting hung up on one little obtuse thing and you're just trying to figure out what exact puzzle piece goes with what. And absolutely, you game over for it sometimes. I've played these games through fully at least twice that I can think of, not counting trophy runs. And yeah, no, I was not surprised it was still going to happen. It's twice that the climax reasonings killed me though, that's interesting. I didn't think I'd be having so much trouble with that. Anyways, the photo. Tucker's wristwatch at 6 o'clock. He's like, motherfucker's late. And then he smashed the attackers. This was 4, right? This is hammer. This is the one that got me killed, right? Quickly put together the pieces I know are probably all good. Get up the top. Ah, yes, I do know that. You know, I've got the Platinum Trophy for Danganronpa 1 and 2. Okay, Birth to Fumi. So is this the Bloody Hammer? I think it must be. The other ones are all either from old trials or pictures already in here. Sakura looking totally JoJo. Okay.
Here's exactly what happened.
Clean hammer for that one, you reckon? That's right. We'll skip ahead to it. Oh, I was like, fuck, did the game really just crashed? And Danganronpa really just crashed my PS5? What? A little bit weird. Felt a little bit like nothing was happening. No, I was Super Saiyan Taka for such a short time! That was great. And I simply ran out of time.
While we did that, we left Hifumi alone in the nurse's office. This was exactly what Hifumi was hoping for. He took a blood packet from the refrigerator and Justice Hammer 3 and turned the room into a crime scene in which he himself had apparently been brutally murdered. He let out a scream to draw us back, and when we returned, that's what we found.
That's what we found.
Meanwhile, the other group that had been out searching found Taka's body at the same time. So when we heard the body discovery announcement, we naturally assumed it was for Hifumi. We left the nurse's office, and Hifumi once again took advantage of the situation. He simply got up and made his escape. When we learned his body had disappeared, we all rushed back to the nurse's office, and once again, Hifumi had the chance he was waiting for. This time, he snuck into the equipment room. He wrapped Taka's body in a tarp and used the dolly to move it all the way down to the repository. That explains how each of the bodies disappeared. But even Hifumi didn't know what the true killer had in mind for their final act. Their plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them. And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository. That should cover everything that happened in this case. And the villain behind it all is...
Who's he? Dramatic. Dramatic.
Sorry, you lose.
You lose. Looks like Celeste's gonna cash in her chips, guys.
I lost? When was the last time I was forced to utter such words?
I am
They
a
hang
gambler.
heavy around my neck.
Then you admit it? You're the killer?
Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. I, Celestia Ludenberg. Actually, no, Taiko Yasuhiro is fine.
Taiko?
So, you finally accepted it.
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
Interesting.
There we go. There we go. Yeah, I did that shit.
Okay, Monokuma. I'm ready to begin. Or, no. I suppose this is the end, isn't it?
It is indeed the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to vote. Okay? Okay. If you would, please locate your lever and cast your vote. And when the votes are tallied, who will become the Blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
One thing I will ask, is there are some people in this chat room and this is their first time experiencing any of the Danganronpa games. We're not up to Danganronpa 2 yet. Yes, I'm sure they will all love Chiaki.
Honestly.
It's alright, you didn't spoil anything major. Just thought I'd lay that out there. Fumi's ineptitude is beyond all my calculations.
I knew it.
So you really did approach Hifumi with this plan. But how did you get him to agree? I can't imagine he would have happily agreed to commit murder. I'm sure she relied on her specialty, lying. My specialty. Don't make me laugh. I don't have to lie to get him to
So
agree. Then did you use... You know. I knew you'd figure it out, Kyoko. I guess I can do real Celeste voice, you just can't be my voice. You're absolutely right. To get Hifumi to act as my accomplice, I used her. For everyone who's still left, I'll avoid mentioning it by name, but there's one thing Hifumi and Taka were both super into. Does she mean... Is she talking about alter ego?
Say what?
What are you talking about?
Just a second.
Don't interrupt. We're in the middle of a very important conversation here. I'm totally out of the loop, as usual. How sad.
In other words.
And you're the one that stole it. That's right.
I see.
And you used it to drag Hifumi into the plan you'd come up with. Right again. Last night, after we had our meeting about how it disappeared, I paid Hifumi a little visit. What are you doing here?
Actually,
I was hoping I could talk to you alone. Oh no, wait, it's fake Celeste voice again. It is about what was stolen. I know who did it.
What?
What?
Are you okay with this?
It was Taka. He stole it.
So then...
And I have proof. Would you like to see it? As it turned out, I had found a use for the digital camera. I'd taken you-know-what to Taka's room earlier and took pictures of it there. I deleted the picture as soon as I'd shown it to Hifumi, of course.
Damnation!
So it was him! But how did he do it? He was supposed to yell if either of us got close to her. You are correct, which is why Taka forced me to steal it.
Say what?
What?
As for me...
Please forgive me. He threatened me.
Oh.
He did?
As for me...
He came to my room last night unannounced and then... It's hard for me to even say. He... abused me.
What?
What? He took pictures. He said if I do not do as he asked, he would show them to everyone. So I had no choice.
Damnation!
Oh, that's a crime, an absolute crime. I mean, I knew he got a little crazy, but I never imagined he would go that far. It was amazing how completely he brought it. I can't express how enjoyable that was. Oh yeah, Taka had his way with me all night long. And he was talking about what a fat ass loser you were the whole time. I'm about to say something I've never said before in my life. I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna fucking kill him.
Most unfortunate.
Wait, please. If you go now, you'll be playing right into his hands.
Actually,
Tucker is planning to use her to escape. And he has made you his target.
What?
Escape? You don't mean... Tucker is going to try kill you.
indeed.
And also he can keep her to himself.
That bastard!
Bastard!
Honestly.
Can we allow him to continue with these barbaric acts?
Absolutely not! How could I? See?
I swear I will save her!
Actually,
Dan, would you like to join with me? It just so happens I've come up with a plan.
Huh?
I've devised a way to reclaim what he has stolen and escape this dreadful school. And with that, it is complete.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Oh, nothing. Hifumi agreed with our second thought. The effect that item had on him was remarkable. The power of love, even a love as twisted as that, can still drive people mad, it would seem.
You disgust me, dude.
I see. I have another question for you. Was that strange costume Hifumi's creation?
indeed.
Yeah, it was a real pain in the butt too. All I asked him to do was make something to hide the face and general body size. I had no idea he'd make something like that. But it's my fault for picking him in the first place.
So, why'd you decide to make me the suspect?
I hate stoners. Because you're stupid.
That's it?
Let's see.
And in that regard, I made the right choice. I'm so glad your stupidity surpassed my every expectation. Life must have been tough on your parents, though.
I feel like I could cry. Whoa.
Well,
But when you were explaining your plan to Hifumi, how did you explain the part about him playing dad? What she's asking is, what was Hifumi supposed to do after that, assuming you would actually let him live?
Are you okay with this?
That's simple. After he did his part and pretended to be dead once someone showed up, I told him to say he'd been seriously wounded. He was on the verge of death, but he just barely held on. And he really believed that! Well, of course, that wasn't all there was to it. As I explained it to Hifumi, the plan was, while you were all questioning him about what had happened to him, I was going to murder someone else. At that point, Hifumi would have had an alibi, so nobody could doubt him. I told him that, and he believed it. It all seems very straightforward, stereotypical. I just matched the lie to the level of the opponent. In fact, Hifumi ate it up. He believed the lie wholeheartedly right up until the moment of his death.
So in the end,
So you had planned to kill him all along. But of course, there would have been no point to my plan if the one who pretended to be dead did not end up dead himself. How can human life mean so little to you?
Well,
That's a non-issue. I simply did everything in my power to win.
Don't be mean!
Don't be mean. Now you sound like Pinocchio.
I wonder about that.
No, he derives his pleasure from the thrill of the hunt. In that aspect, we are nothing alike.
Why?
And what made you take things this far? What the heck? Was it really just for money? Are you talking about the $10 million Monokuma offered us? That is a lot of money, it's true. But that's not all there is to it. From the moment our new life here began, my only thought has been escape.
But
all along you've been saying how we have to accept living here.
You little bitch!
Obviously, that was a lie.
Yo!
Hey!
I couldn't take it. I hated it from day one. Want anyone else in here.
You little bitch!
I wanted to get out. Every day was fresh torture. Do you want to know why? Huh?
This is fine.
Because I had a dream. Accepting a life here would have meant nothing less than giving up on my dream forever.
Honestly.
And there was no way that I could ever do that. In the underground world of gambling, I risked my life to make a metaphorical killing.
As for me,
And it was all for that dream. And what was this dream of yours?
Isn't it wonderful?
To live in a European castle, be a stereotypical gothic bitch. A good castle! And to gather handsome men from all over the world to serve as my butlers slash bodyguards. I was going to make them dress up like vampires and satisfy my every need. Once I obtained that, I would have created a perfectly aesthetic world of decadence.
This is fine.
Living the rest of my life there was my only dream, my only goal. That's what life is all about! Combined with my own winnings, Monokuma's $10 million would have made that dream a reality. I got right to the edge,
There
but
is nothing to be done.
unfortunately my dream has been scattered to the wind. Still, I don't have any regrets. I pursued my dream till the very end, so why would
Just
I?
the worst.
You sound so passionate, but you were really able to kill your own friends for it.
Oh,
Are you asking me to feel guilty? That's a pointless endeavor. I think nothing is sacrificing others for my own ends. I feel nothing.
Do you understand?
That's all there is to me. That's what makes me complete. Isn't it terrifying how different our values are? There's simply no room for understanding.
what is this?
That's what we should be saying, and plus, how can you be so calm? Don't you realize you're about to die? Why aren't you scared? My ability to lie is unrivaled, and I take pride in that. It's not just other people, I can even fool my own emotions. The conscious deceives the unconscious. And that's why you're not scared?
Yes, indeed.
That's right, I don't fear death. Kill me however you like. But you know, if I could be reincarnated, if I had a choice then,
Isn't it wonderful?
I think I would like to come back as Marie Antoinette.
Hey, you'd just get executed again.
Celeste smiled then, and when she did, it looked to me like a poor effort to force it. She claimed she could fool her own feelings, but that statement itself must have been her final lie. And that weak fake smile is what betrayed her.
Thrills, chills, kills!
You're done? Okay, let's get rolling! The black and disturb the peace must pay the price!
Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment!
The hour for the ultimate gambler!
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
I guess I'll let Kyoko hold on to this. What?
This is...
Will it really give you the hope you're looking for? I can't say I ever saw it that way. Which is why... Actually, it's not important. Well then... Take care, everyone. Perhaps we'll meet again. In another life.
Joan of Arc, anyone? Versailles Witch. Up. Alright, up to Celeste, I gotcha. Little cardboard frames. That's the Monokuma way to do it. And then I drove a fire truck into her. Yeah. It's over. Yeah, I'm going to burn you at the stake. I'm bored. I'm going to drive a truck in here. The third execution is over. Celeste's death is over. Celeste killed my friend, so I can't pity her, but I also can't deny that at one point I considered her a friend too. And for him to just come along and... Isn't it just awful? Someone couldn't cut free of their regrets from the outside world, and so more people had to die.
Extreme!
You guys are still young. You need to place more value on your lives.
What are you gonna do?
Jeez, and here I thought you guys were gonna pass the torch of hope to the next generation.
Let me out of here!
What do I care about hope? I'll throw it in the trash if you just let me out.
Dad.
You're all the embodiment of hope, whether you like it or not. And it's my destiny to knock you down one by one. It's sad. Yes, it is. But that reality just can't be avoided. Don't talk like you're not responsible. How long are you gonna make us keep going through this? What do you want from us? God, I'm so sick of people asking me that. Give it a rest already. So anyway, Kyoko, did I see you get some kind of key-type object from Celeste?
Hey!
So, what's the deal with that?
What?
Huh? What's the matter?
So then,
I'll answer your question if you answer mine. What did you do? What did you do to me?
Ooh.
Ooh. Answer me. What did you do to my body?
Ooh.
Oh man, oh jeez, oh man, oh jeez. What do you mean? What did I do? Innuendo. I have no idea. I don't know anything about it. What was that just now? The mastermind did sign to Kyoko's body. What does that mean? Okay, things are getting kind of awkward. I think it's about time I got out of here.
Well?
Meanwhile, you guys can go and enjoy your school life. If you get lonely, give me a shout. Not that I'll do anything about it, of course.
See ya later!
Monokuma disappeared, leaving us all depressed and in despair. Although it wasn't all despair, there was one small hope. Hey, Kyoko, Monokuma already mentioned it, but what's that key that Celeste gave you?
so...
Most likely, it's the key to one of the dressing room lockers.
Huh?
What the that means? Celeste probably hid it in there.
Hey,
I suppose sometimes it's easiest to miss what's right beneath your nose. Well then, we'd better go check.
Indeed.
Good idea. We left the courtroom and rushed to the dressing room. As we approached the dressing room, Kyoko looked back at us and said,
Hey.
I'm going to go on alone from here. Everyone else head to the dining hall. I'll check in with you later.
What?
Why exactly are you going alone?
So...
Do you even have to ask? As she spoke, she glanced quickly at the
Come on.
cameras. That's not what I mean. Why you? There's still the risk of a spy, you know. Then I'll go too.
What?
You? Please let me go. Standing here arguing is just going to draw more attention to us. Do whatever you want. Thank you, Byakuya.
Well, then.
It's up to you.
Yo!
I'm gonna go to the dining hall. I got mad munchies, okay?
Oh, so Makoto and Kyoko are gonna go together. Ooh. Oh, does that mean what I think it means?
Okay.
Good luck, Makoto. Girls like her are total pushovers when you show a little backbone. Alright, Hina. I tried to forget what Hina said. It was some genocide jack shit. Everyone heads to the dining hall, leaving me and Kyoko there alone.
Shall we go?
Shall we? Yeah! Then Kyoko started unbuttoning her blouse and I was like, oh, I thought we were here for alter ego. If you're not going to take this seriously, Kyoko, I'm going to go back to my room. And that's what happened. We need to get into that locker. Kyoko took the key Celeste had given her and unlocked the locker. And as the locker swung open, we saw...
You're really cold.
Good morning. It's been a while, hasn't it? It's safe, thank goodness. I never heard Kyoko sound so relieved. It was like she was speaking from the bottom of her heart. I did just what Celeste asked. I didn't say a word. I stayed quiet the entire time. And I think I might be able to open the last set of files soon. Maybe as early as tomorrow. I'm doing my best, so please just wait a little while longer. So now we can officially say the case is closed. As far as this incident is concerned, sure, but can we take a second since we have this opportunity? I want you to be honest with me. Kyoko, please tell me, what are you trying to do all on your own here at the school? Is that why you wanted to come here with me?
However,
regardless, that's not something you need to know right now. I don't need to know? That just makes me even more worried.
What?
Worried? Like what happened during the investigation this time? You disappeared and we didn't see you again. Without warning, without explanation. When you do that,
Indeed.
it's only natural that they think I'm the mastermind spy, right? And you too? No! I believe in you. You believe in me? Isn't it obvious? People believe in their friends, right? That's why I want you to tell me. And I want you to believe in me too, because we're friends. I understand.
It's true.
But maybe I can believe in you. Just a little bit more. Then,
That's fine.
Fine, I'll tell you. I'll tell you why I've been disappearing and where I've been going. You see, what I heard from Kyoko then was, well, frankly, it kind of blew my mind. Right after I told Kyoko I believe in her, she told me a story that was, well, unbelievable. I decided I had to confirm what she'd told me of my own two eyes, so I waited for nighttime to come, and when it did, I went into action.
Correct.
The boys' bathroom on the second floor doesn't have a surveillance camera and a monitor on it, and in the storage closet there, way in the back. She said it was way in the back of the boys' bathroom storage closet, but could Kyoko really be right about this? Just a normal storage closet as far as I can tell. The secret Kyoko told me about, could it really be hidden in here? Ah! Investigate wall. She said it was way back in the back of the closet, but I mean, seriously? Without thinking, I placed my hand on the back of the closet, and suddenly, as if being yanked in, secret door, gashunk! At the same time as I heard that sound, I fell through the wall. I had no idea what was going on. Ba-bump! I'd fallen through the back of the storage closet. Huh? It turned out the back wall was like a revolving door and I made my way to the other side. Just like Kyoko had said.
Correct.
In the boys' bathroom on the second floor, there's a storage closet. Way in the back of that closet, there's a secret room. So this is the secret room, but what's in here? Tissues, lots of crying happened in here. A bunch of files, what looks like volume after volume of yearbooks. They're all covered in dust. Looking at everything, one file at the edge of the bookshelf caught my eye. Hope's Peak Academy Student Registry. This is the only thing in here not covered in dust. Has someone been looking at it recently? I slipped the file into my hand, but before I had a chance to take a look at it, a slip of paper fell out of the file and I turned my attention to it. What's this? You must not leave. That's kind of weird. I can understand if it said, like, I can't leave, but you must not leave? What is this? My head feels funny. There's a strange sensation. It's like deja vu, those words, you must not leave. I've seen them somewhere before, but I can't quite remember. What do I know? What don't I know? Smack! Strange sound rung out through my head. It felt like I was shaking my brain back and forth, and then darkness. I don't understand what's happening. I don't know what started it. It's all over, and with that, I opened my eyes. I don't know how long it had been. Ow! Apparently something hit me and I lost my consciousness. That's all I understood. A dull, throbbing pain in my head proved that much at least. All the files are gone. An empty bookshelf. Empty. Gone. It's all gone. The yearbooks, the registry, and even the note had fallen on the floor. All gone. What does this mean? But my brain refused to do any more work. The insistent pain in my head began to spread across the rest of my body. For now, I should go back to my room, get some rest. My body was heavy with pain, my mind heavy with thought. I dragged myself back towards my room. Somehow I made it back to the first floor of the school. Ugh. The farther I walked, the more I felt. Things are getting blurry, can't see in front. Couldn't stop myself from collapsing after that. As if from a vast distance, I heard a sound. It was faint but undeniable. That sound is coming from the gym. As I desperately hauled my shaky frame towards the gym, the sound got stronger and stronger. What's going on? Can't be nothing. Here in the gym? I didn't make a sound as I opened the doors of the gym. The sounds coming from inside, meanwhile, only intensified that much more. Before me there raged a battle beyond anything humanly possible. No, one side not human, that's for sure, but regardless, I couldn't stop staring. I forgot to move or even breathe.
Why, you? What do you think you're doing? I asked you a question. What's the meaning of this? How dare you defy me? This wasn't part of the deal!
I've made a decision. I will no longer retreat, no longer compromise, no longer regret. I've made my decision. I'm going to resist you.
Okay, but you do realize what will happen if you go through with this, right? You haven't forgotten, have you? What I'm holding hostage?
What am I looking at? What am I hearing? A hostage? Could it be? Mastermind spy is... To be continued. So that, my friends, ends chapter 3. So, definitely my least favourite trial overall in the first game. But next week's chapter and next week's trial, yeah. I'll definitely be putting that up for the second weekend stream poll. Definitely one of my personal standout trials from this game. So a good one coming up starting next week. But no, thank you very much, guys. Yeah, all the returning viewers here, especially those of you who are watching at ungodly times in the morning in other countries. I'm absolutely loving this little fact here. Yeah, I'll definitely be tallying up the points and stuff. Definitely a lot of votes going to the favourites this stream. I had a lot of fun as always. So yeah, I'm still uploading these to my YouTube and stuff, so if you miss them and they're not on Twitch anymore, they'll always be on there. I guess other things, anime levels intensified at the end there, yeah, again shonen, right? So yeah, there'll definitely be some updates there. I'll post in the chats or the Discord or what have you. Actually might need to post me up. Anyway, I'm kind of talking to myself there. So no, I had a fun stream tonight, guys. Went on a little bit later than usual. I will be looking to do a test stream of Street Fighter 6 over the weekend. It'll probably just be a 1 hour long boy, just kind of making sure that I can play the game online and broadcasted at the same time with little issues. Which, fingers crossed, I'd love to actually get me some 1v1 competition in there. Cannot stress enough how amazing Street Fighter 6 actually fucking is. So no, thank you guys. We'll be kicking this Danganronpa stream off next week again on Thursday. But nope, stay beautiful guys. Have a good night.